Welcome to CNC Wood Carving UK with Alan Robbo. This video will show you how to download my VCarve post processor with a twist. This file has been uploaded to Facebook, CNC Wood Carving UK June 11, 2019.
First of all, download the file. Save it in a convenient location. Once downloaded, you'll see a file called VCarve Post Processor Zip Text. The first thing you must do is remove the text. By doing this, it will convert the file into a zip folder. Now, extract the files and as you can see, there are several files inside. The first thing to do is to move My Post into your working directory. To do this, you must load VCarve Pro. Find and open the Open Application Data folder. Rename My Post that you already have to mypost.backup. Then copy the folder from VCarve Post Processor over. And if we have a look inside this, you'll see several files. You'll see the shortcut list that will give you all the shortcut keys. Some people may find this useful. And you will find a post processor guide which will show you how to modify the post processor. However, in the post processors themselves, I must warn you, do not edit anything between the script and the end script markers. Lua programming is very temperamental. The Lua script language is a very temperamental language, and you will get many error boxes which are meaningless. However, you can change the block definition for your own personal machines. There is also a file, Register Me, where you can place your names, answer one or two little questions, add your machine, and then tell me which and you can add a comment, and you can put any other comments you wish here. Then you can send the email to me. And as you see, it will open up in your favourite email account. And from here, You can, if you wish, select your post processor, the one you're using now, and include it in the email and send it to me. If you need help, then just click help and just type a question and send it to me. And if you find this post processor useful, using PayPal, please make a donation, as all donations will be very welcome and will help me to improve this program. Now that we have saved the post processor into the correct location, you must now close VCarve Pro. Next thing, open up VCarve Pro with a file. Here's a nice little file, some background. You will see here that the length of the file is 599 600 millimeters long. Please remember this number. Now, open up your toolpath data and let's just see what this cuts like. Save the picture . And now you will see you have the picture in your folder. This will be useful later. Now for the good bit. Export a post processor. You can use Imperial or you can use Metric. I like using Metric myself. Next, select the toolpaths you wish to export. Now please note the tool numbers are 3, 4, 1 and 5 in that order. You will be asked to save a toolpath as normal. Save it in the same directory as the graphics image was saved in. Now, instead of getting an output file here of your G-code, it opens up a new menu asking you for several options. Here we have tiling. Well, we aren't doing any tiling on this, so it's not set. This is also set automatically from within the program and is only an indication of what's happening. This tells you that the tool numbers will be renumbered. Here we have the drawing rotational option. At this moment I'm going to set it on 0 degrees, which is the way you have it drawn, the way it appears here. This next box is to set your work offsets. You can go from G54 up to G59. This will be useful if you have several preset datums and stops on your CNC. This next piece here, I have seen many posts where people say their CNC stops at the end of each line. That is because Mach 3 defaults to G61. So here you can either have it stop at the end of each line, or you can have it set as a constant velocity. This is usually the best one to go for. Now we come to the home positions when the job is finished. Where do you want to send the machine when it's finished? If you have limit switches, by selecting machine 0, it will go to the limit switches. If you prefer to set the G28 position, select this. However, if you wish to go to a particular XY position, you can set it here, or you can set it from within VCarve Pro. Your next option is, do you want to send the machine to the G53 position, Z0, which is, on my machine, is the most highest point the spindle can go. You have a few other bits here. You have the information, which will give you a great deal of information This is a help window, and it will help explain what's going on, and it will give you several other little tidbits of information. And of course there is the obligatory go to my Facebook page, email, and a please donate button, and give some feedback. None of which of course you have to do, but it would be nice. You also have a couple of buttons here. One which will send you to the Vectric web page, and the other to the Mac support page. And of course, let's never forget the CNC group you should all be a member of. CNC Woodcarving UK. Now that we have set all the information we think we need, just click OK. And as normal, it looks as if nothing has happened until we go to your page where you've saved your program. Now here you will find, unlike VCarve Pro, there are several other files which have been created. The first and most important is the data sheet. When you play around with this a little bit more, you will find that when we took the image, it took an entire picture of the output, but we don't want that. At the moment, all we need is that little piece. And now, as you can see, you can tailor your image to how you'd like it to fit on the page. On the worksheet you will have several bits of information. Material setup, when it comes to material setup, as you can see, you'll have the block sizes you need. Here you will see the Z is at the top of the material and your XY origin is the middle of the material. And do you remember when I told you that your tools will be renumbered and that 3415 were the tools used in VCarve? Well, they've been output as tool 1, tool 2, tool 3 and tool 4. This is very useful if you have an automatic tool changer and you'd like to put all your tools in the correct place. As you can see, your tool information is here. Tool 1, 5mm, tool 2, 2mm, tool 3, 19mm, tool 4 is a 6mm. And here you have the work that it'll be doing, the main pocket, pocket 1 and outside profile. And if you wish, you can print this and it'll print 3 pages. However, may I recommend only printing pages 1 and 2. Page 3 is this piece here, which you don't really want printed. Unfortunately, I haven't found a way of controlling the printer from HTML yet. If anyone knows, I would be very pleased to know. So this is your worksheet. This file is a list of the tools you'll be using. Now, as you see, it is in the form of a macro. We will get to this in a moment. And here is your G-code program. It gives you lots of information. A G53 home position here, which always sends the machine to a safe Z position, providing, of course, your machine 0 is the most highest point on your machine. Here, it will do a tool call, tool number 1. Then it will set the spindle speed, feed and switch the spindle on. It will then go to the first location or the start location of the main pocket clear. It will then wrap it down to 10mm above the job. Then the CNC, if you have option stop on, the CNC will now wait for you to check that that is 10mm above the job. If it is, you can then press the green button and it will immediately wrap it down to 6mm above the job, then wrap it down to 1mm above the job and feed in -2. Then it will do the tool path required. When it gets to the end of a particular cut cycle, it will wrap it up to 6mm above the job, wrap it over to the next start position, wrap it down to 1mm above the job, feed in to the Z level and do the cut again. This will continue till you get to the end of the profile you're doing. It will then wrap it up to the 6mm position. It will then wrap it up to the safe Z position, which is a G53 Z0. in my case, machine 0. Once the Z has gone home, it will then switch the spindle off, and it will now call tool number 2, which in my case is a 2mm end mill, and it used to be tool number 4 in the CAM program, but here it's been renumbered to tool number 2, and it will do the same again, do the tool path until all the tools have been done. This is a standard piece of code in my programs. Unless you're using job rotation, this will do nothing, so don't worry about it. At the end of the work job, the machine will go to the Z home position you've asked for. Then switch the spindle off, and it will go to the home position. And that's about it. So, let's see this in action. Here we have Mach 3. On my page, I have a piece here which shows me the tool data. Now you see, I have no tool data. However, if I come up here and run a VB script, if I go to a file, you will see we have this macro. If we open it and we run it, it appears nothing has happened. So if we close that now, no. Now, if we come back to Mach 3 and we look at the tool data, you will find our tool data has been put into Mach 3. If you don't have this button, which is highly unlikely, if you go to the config and look at the tool table, you will find your tool table has been filled with the relevant information. This allows you to be able to do your tool offsets.
This allows you to set your G43 tool length offsets. If you use them, this way you know which tool is supposed to be there, and makes setting more reliable.
Now, let's load a program. This is the program we created. It will redraw everything, and if we look carefully, oh dear, there is the bed of my machine. And if I have the soft limits on, and if I try to run the program, soft limit warning. Well, we don't want to machine this whilst it's like this, because we can't do it. So, close the G-code program, go back to VCarve and do a save again. But this time we will rotate the job 90 degrees. Nothing appears to have happened. But if we go back to Mach 3 and we load the program in, all of a sudden it fits my machine. And now if I do cycle start, and now as you see, according to the programming we did, it's gone down to Z10, where you can visually check to make sure it is about 10mm, and it's now asking, are you ready to go? See, are we ready? Then go to cycle start and press start. And as you see here, the cutter is going up and down, backwards and forwards, to and fro. Now a little explanation as to why X and Y are in red. That is because we have rotated the work round. And this is telling you that X and Y are no longer X and Y. Your X is actually Y, your Y is actually X. Anyway, let's stop it here. Now one thing you will notice, when we have the job rotated, the Z will never move to the safe height. You always have to do that manually. Now why has this worked? Well, if you look, I'm using a G68, which is rotate 90 degrees. So it's A, which is X, 0, B, which is your Y, 0, and R, rotate counterclockwise 90 degrees. Now, of course, you can change this on the G-code if you wish. Edit G-code. Oops, I've lost it. So if I put in a G68R 0, which technically is wrong, you see your program will revert back to the correct position. However, because we are using G68, Mac 3 still thinks you're using a rotational command. What we have to do, edit the program, so there's the basics. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation.